Hello, this is Dot Porter. I'm with the Special Collections Center at the University of Pennsylvania Libraries, and I'm here with Alex Devine. Alex is a PhD candidate in the English department here at Penn, and he is going to talk about MS Codex 236. Alex.
Hello, Dot. I'm delighted to be looking at this wonderful Bible, one of four that we have here at Penn, 13th century Bible examples, tremendously important books within the history of the Bible, within the history of Christianity, within the history of the Codex as material technology and why that is important, and this book innovative in what it does in its own way. This is a 13th century Bible manuscript in an 18th century, not a medieval, an 18th century French, I think Morocco, brown French Morocco binding, and a page or two of paper at the beginning, and if we just skip straight to the beginning. The Bible text, as we know it today, is beginning with Genesis, from the King James Bible onwards, comes together in the 13th century. This is one of the books that does that work. It innovates. It is revolutionary in its own way, from being large books of, you think of books of the Bible, separate material units of the Bible. In the 13th century, the entire canon of Scripture, from Genesis through to the book of Revelation, is compiled and condensed into one easily searchable, indexed, navigable volume. It begins with interpretational aids. In this case, it begins with one with this illuminated A at the beginning, which is the interpretation of Hebrew names. It is a tool that helps you, as you're reading through, particularly the Old Testament, to decipher and clarify meaning from those names, what the name itself means. So that is commonly in this period for the first time becomes a characteristic of the Bible as it would have been understood in the medieval intellectual life of the time. Following that, if we jump straight forward, there is also another prologue which is available on pen in hand if you look at it, of Ambrose's prologue. But here is a recognizable scene. Beginning of the book of Genesis, Genesis, running header as we call it, now thought of as standard. No page numbers, no folio numbers. There are numbers in the bottom right-hand corner, which are in pencil, which were added later once it arrived in, I assume, at Penn. But at the time, there are no page numbers. There are chapter numbers for the first time, standardized in a particular order. So this would be commonly now written as IV, 4 in Roman numerals. That is a number 3. Yep. They alternate red and blue as a matter of course, as they do in the running headers for ease of navigation and highlighting that makes something stand out, foregrounded. And down this gorgeous, this left-hand margin of the opening of Genesis, there is Adam and Eve at the top, and the serpent with the little face. There is Noah and his ark, and the dove just above. There is also at the bottom these iconographic scenes, these very important scenes. Abraham and Isaac are present at the bottom. And so this is the opening of the Bible as we know it. It's the opening of the Bible as it was coming to be put together at that particular point. But what's so fascinating about this particular volume is the fact that it is not only a Bible, it is also a book that was created, made, bespoke from the very beginning. It was created with a dual function. It was a Bible, but it was also a prayer text. It incorporates a missal at the end of the volume, a missal being a text, and here we have the opening of the missal, which is used for the celebration of communion, Mass. Here we have another gorgeous, illuminated with gold leaf flaking off somewhat, the crucifixion scene, crucifix as an initial T,
Right.
followed by an E, te igitur, the beginning of celebration of Mass, te igitur, clementissime, beginning of the, so these are prayers, that is scriptural text, these are prayers. And towards the end of this text, missal is followed by a breviary, another different kind, but another liturgical text for devotional practice, for the worship at Mass, worship of God. And at the very end, another later appended, added in at a later date, indexical tool feature, which is a long, very, very intricately alphabetized, look at the indexing system on this, and the very careful subdivision and ordering and organisation of knowledge. It's the incipits, the first words of quotations, sections for particular days of celebrating the liturgy from the epistles and from the Gospels, the four Gospels, along with the Psalms, central texts of medieval Christianity. So all of these are united within this single codex, which is really extraordinary for that reason. Really, really very much indeed.
This is great. Thank you very much,
You're
Alex.
very welcome.